delay. Ridwan, please mute. Okay, we are going live right now. Oh, thing was even shoot. Okay, should be able to hear me now. Welcome to Nacademy's Nacademy Graphic Design webinar. I'm Nasir Karim, the founder of Nacademy, and I'm also going to be your host today. I'm happy that you can all join me. Please let us know in the comment section if you can hear us really, really well. Right, let us really know and let us see how we can just make the experience better for everyone. Please do me a favor. Make sure you share the link with everyone you think they might be interested in this. So make sure you try and do that. Without taking so much of our time, let me just quickly talk to you guys about Nacademy. Nacademy is a motion design institute, and what we do is to just train corporate individuals in design and emotion design discipline. So talking about graphic design, motion design, and even under motion design, we have 2D animation, 3D animation, among other things, right? So if you want to learn more about that, I will advise you check our website, nacademyng.com, and also follow us on Instagram. I'm pretty sure you have more details concerning those concerning our social media handles soon. Right now, I'm going to have the facilitator join us for today's webinar. His name is Ridwan Olamiji. Is a seasoned graphic designer, and he's going to be the one to put us through today's training. I'm really, really excited. Just a second, please. Um, Yeah, sorry about that. So I'm going to be going over to read one side now and they will start. All right. You have to unmute read one.
Hello everyone, welcome to the Graphic Design webinar, and my name is Ridwan Olamiji, also known as Leaders Media. So I'll be doing a brief explanation or a brief introduction about myself. As you are also, my name is Ridwan Olamiji, and I love to call myself a visual communicator, which means I tend to represent visual concepts, or sorry, represent design visually. Every information visual, so visual communicator. And also, I've been doing design now past professionally 5 years for literally 7 years. And I've been able to work on different projects here in Nigeria and also outside the country. So I'll be a part of the class. I hope you will enjoy this class because I'm teaching you more on how to what you call match color together, how to use a color palette, and also how to give actual information in your design, and how you can create what they call, how you can manage your space whenever you are doing design and when you have much information. So just try with me as I go on this journey. Thank you very much. So I'll be introducing to you to some of my works that I have worked on recently. So just work with me. So let me just go here. So as you can see, these are some logo designs I have worked on. So the brand identity design also I have done. We have some social media designs also. So these are designs that I got from some brands. So you can see I have the objective and I have the goals and also the name of the brand. So this was the one I worked on for many weeks. And yeah, these are also some random social media designs that I have done, and you can see how design really looks. So I have some packaging designs also. And some interior designs. These are just a bit of my works that I have done. and we have some poster designs. This is poster design was done for a design conference. And also these are if you're conversant with my Instagram page, you should see this kind of what we call designs. And also these ones, these are fictional poster designs. Yeah. And I have some book cover designs. And some print design, some print merchandise design. So these are what's it called now? Looking through my portfolio, you see my bigger works and the work I work on. But some are here that I can't share with you guys because I have an AD called attached to them. But the ones you see, you should be that I'm experienced and I can take you on the graphic design jobs. So just
It's okay.
let's before I continue on with the class with you guys, I would love you to know that this class is to prep you as a beginner on how to start your graphic design journey. So for you that have no idea about what graphic design is all about, and for you that have an idea of what design is all about, I really don't know how to go on your design journey. So this class will help you and also guide you in what you can do better. But we still have an actual class that is coming up in November that will teach you more on graphic design. But this class will guide you, and for the intermediates, also you will learn in this class. So that's what I can say for them. Thank you. That's up to you.
Can you try? Yeah, can you try with?
Okay.
All right. Hope you guys can hear me well. So we are actually going to go into the training proper. So this is how it's going to be. We're going to be breaking it down into two sections. After the first sections, Ridwan will be happy to take some of your. You'll be happy to take some of your questions based on the training. Then after that, after the questioning and after we share some basic information about our upcoming class. We'll go into the second section, answer your questions again, and then we'll wrap it up. So please, I will really advise if you have your software with you, Photoshop, just fire it up right now because you're about to download some really, really good knowledge from Ridwan. I'm really excited about it. So we're going to start now.
And disable layer mask, and you can see I have it back. So I've hid that background for now. So let's continue. So now the next thing to do here. So guys, welcome to the world of Photoshop. So what we'll be creating today, we'll be creating a simple party flyer, but also colorful, and we'll be merging our design elements and principles together in creating this party flyer. So before we continue, I want you to know that as a beginner, when you start your design journey, you don't design from your head, which means you ought to have a mood board. You have to also have an inspiration when designing. So today I'll be designing with you as a beginner, but not as a professional. So you guys can get the baby steps and you can get the idea properly. So I'm going to be showing you my mood board, what I have created down, where I got the inspiration for this flyer from. So now this is my mood board, as you can see. So I have different designs here that looks more like a party flyer. I got them from Pinterest, as you can see, and they are colorful because I told you earlier that we'll be creating a colorful party flyer. So as you can see now that I have my mood board. So on this my mood board there, as a beginner, I can pick colors I feel like blends together. And if I can't do that, I can go online and check for how to combine colors. So if I can check colors that are vibrant enough, I can combine them together and I can use them for my design. But as a beginner, if you don't know how to pick color yet, I would advise that you pick colors from already done designs that people have done. So what I do sometimes is that I tend to look at colors from colors from the works of other designers. So like this now, if you check this design, I have the likes of pink, or let's say the reddish pink and purple and yellow. I can pick from here, and because we have different colors here. So it's now left to me on which color I want to use for my design. But this is to give me the concept to use for my design. This design I'm seeing here, this is my mood board here, is to give me how the feeling of my design will look like. So to continue, I'm going to go back to my Photoshop. So before I start opening my Photoshop, I'm going to put you through how to open Photoshop for the first time for you beginners. So the first thing you will do, I'm using Photoshop 2022, I guess. Yeah, so the first thing I will do, you can see that these are a series of the work I have done. Yeah, so if I save them, it shows up here. So now I'm going to come to File, and I'm going to come to New. So now, since I'll be designing for social media, so the best size for social media is 1080 by 1080. That's in square. The normal Instagram size, that's 1080 by 1080. A square size I can fit for Instagram, can fit for Twitter, can fit for Facebook. So this is the actual size to use, and I'll be measuring them in pixels. So that's the unit I'll be using in pixels. And also, my resolution is 100. Sometimes I can use 72. So far is used to be used in screen. It's used to be used digitally. So you can use 72 or use 100. So for most of the time, I stick with 100. And since I'm doing what's called in digital design, as we all know that we have two color modes. We have the CMYK and we have the what's called RGB. But because I'm designing for the digital purpose, I'll be using RGB color mode. I will leave my background color as what's it called as white. So all I'll just do next is to click create. So now, as you can all see here now, we have the what's it called the canvas ready. So the next thing to do now is to start creating. But before we start creating, I just want to explain to you what's it called the bars that we have here. Up here we have our middle bars where we have different options. You can see edit image, layers, type, select, filter, 3D. So I might not be able to explain everything here until you guys come for the what's it called the actual bootcamp class where we explain everything in details. So let's move forward. Also, we also have the what's it called the toolbar here. So this is where we pick all our tools, and also we have the properties. So this is where you can see we have character, we have a paragraph, we have ellipses. So these are for text. So, and also properties of different elements or different shapes that I will be picking from our text. I'll be seeing their properties here. And here is my what's it called my layer panel. This is where all the layers I'll be using will be. And Photoshop works in layers as per what's it called. Anything I'm creating it layer after layer, layer on layer, layer on layer. So Photoshop works in layers. So now, before I continue, I need to what's it called bring my assets together. And assets are the elements I'll be using in creating my design. And if I don't have them, I can go online and download them or basically create them from scratch. So now I have one asset already, which is the important one, which is the image. So I'm going to bring the image in. And how do I bring that in? Come to File, then come to Open. So now I'm going to go to where my file is. So I'm going to check here. I'm bring the picture I want to use. So I'm using this picture and I'm going to bring it in. I'm going to bring it in. Now, remember I told you that I'm doing a party flyer. So I need to pick what's it called an image that can really represent whatever I want to do. An image that will carry what's it called that energy, that will resonate with what's it called with the energy of the party. So that was why I'm using this lady showing me that what's it called that vibe, giving me that spirit. So that means whenever you're doing your design, you have to also put in consideration the kind of image you are using, because they will pass information also. So you don't just use any image whenever you're doing your design. And also make sure your images are high end, which means they are HD and they are of high quality, because the quality, the better the quality of the image, the better the design looks. So also make sure that what's it called, your image is of good quality. So let's continue. So this is the image we will be using, but we all know that before we can start a design, there has to be what's it called, be a brief from a client that we are working on. We can't just work from our head. So either what's it called, you have a brief from a client. So the brief we'll be using for this design today is this. You can see we have what's it called, events. Event is batch vibes. Date Saturday, October 15. Time 8 p.m. onward, and the venue is here. The dress code, funky chic, then tickets, as you can see. So we have informations that we are working with already. So the next thing to do here is to crop this image, and there are different ways whereby you can crop your image in Photoshop. So we'll be doing that here now. We'll be cutting away the background in Photoshop. So now the first thing to do is to unlock your what's it called, your image. You can see that it's locked here. So you can just bring your mouse to where you have this lock button, this padlock button, and just what's it called, click on it. Then it is unlocked like that. So the next thing I'll do, in order to cut my image properly and to cut it very well, I would advise that you use the pen tool so you can get that smoothness whenever you're cutting. So I'm going to pick my pen tool and make sure up here from shape I change it to parts so that it doesn't give me a fill color. So I change it to parts. So then I can zoom in and start what's it called, and start cuts, tracing around it like this. So make sure you're tracing a bit inside the image, a bit inside. So I'm going to be going like that. So there are so many ways you can cut in Photoshop, but I would advise that you use the pen tool if you want to get it properly. Use the pen tool. So as I'm drawing like this now, I'm dragging, and I've gotten to this end, and I want to also continue. Press your Alt key and just click at this point, this blue point here. Click on it and keep on what's it called, drawing like that. The same process. Alt and click on this blue point and keep on what's it called, drawing like that. So you get to a comfortable what's it called, stakes. So now let's continue. So this might take time, but bet it you will like it. But if you are working on what's it called, on different subjects, and you have to cut all of them, you can't use what's it called, unless you have time. You can't use pen tool. You have to look for another way. Maybe you use what's it called, the magic wand, or you use select subjects automatically by Photoshop, or you use shape selection. So now at this point that I have the air, there's a way I'm going to do it. So I'm just going to just click around the air like this. Sorry. Like this, I'm going to click around the air like this. There's another method I'll use it, cutting out a hair. So let's just continue. So as you can see that I'm trying to cut round a hair like that. So we'll be using another method to take away these parts. As you guys can see. So I'm going to continue again. And also when it comes to picking colors, sometimes the colors you want to use, you might get it on your, what's it called, on your image, the image you guys are the image you're using for your design. So in that aspect, you can just change the shades or add a complementary color to it when you pick the color from your image, so that it can blend properly and it can look colorful. So these are some tips I'm giving you, but let's continue. So this image was downloaded from FreePic and is an AI generated image that I got from FreePic. Yeah. So now I'll be coming back to where I left, where I started from, sorry. So you can see that I'm taking my time to, what's it called, to get the lines round and body. So if you are, what's it called, if you are cutting your subject, make sure you are also doing that also. So make sure that whatever lines, whatever curve you are drawing is also taking the, what's it called, the shape of your subject. Now see that I'm literally going back to where I started from. Yeah. So now the next thing to do here, since I've used my pen tool, is to right click and pick, what's it called, mix selection. Then what's it called, press OK. After then, press W. W is also known as selection. Press W and right click again and select inverse. You selecting inverse means you are selecting the part that wasn't, what's it called, that wasn't cropped. That means now if I'm selecting inverse now, that means now if you check before I select inverse, the part selected here are the part that I cropped. So now that I'm selecting W, right click and select inverse. Now the part will be showing me here now are the part that I did not select, the inverse of whatever I selected. So I'm going to, what's it called, click on this tool here, this layer here, this icon here, which is the layer mask. So if I click on it like that, it has taken away what I selected, and I'm going to press Ctrl I to bring it back, as you can see. So I'm going to go back again. So two ways, before I forget, two ways. As I select, what's it called, inverse, I can delete. I'll delete the background. Do you get me? But at some point, I might want to bring back this background so that I don't lose it totally. So the best thing to do at this point is to hide it instead of you just deleting it, because at this point now it's been deleted, we can't find it. So for us to keep it and use it again, I'll press Ctrl Z. Now instead of just deleting it, I'll click a, what's it called, a layer mask. And what does layer mask means? I will explain to you now, and I'll press Ctrl I to review that part. So now I'll press my Alt key, hold my Alt key, and click on this black and white thumbnail that I have here. So now what layer mask does is that if I use layer mask, where is painted white here is the part that is revealed out, and where is painted black here is a part that is hidden. You get the white part is revealed and the black part is hidden. I get it, which means that, what's it called, I told you that instead of you just deleting it, hide it. So which means if I press Alt and click on this thing back now, you can see the part that we can't see anymore is hidden, is not deleted. And if I want to bring it back, I can just come here, right click and disable layer mask, and you can see I have it back. So I've hid that was it called, that background for now. So let's continue. So now the next thing to do here, is to remove what's it called, is to remove this white, this yellow part of our what's it called, over here. And how do I do that? I need to click on my what's it called, sorry, goodbye. Click on my layer mask panel or thumbnail, sorry, and come to what's it called, select and mask. So when I select and mask, this will take me to what's it called, another part entirely. So in this part, this is where I will now what's it called, I will remove the hair, these colors around the hair. Then I'll come to where I have this tool, quick selection and refine edge. So I'm going to pick refine edge here, and that's what I will now use that what's it called, that brush in painting around where I have these colors around the hair. As you can see, as I'm painting, it's kind of what's it called, removing just the what's it called, the color, so it can automatically do this for you. So let's continue. So I'm trying to remove all the yellow, yes. So mind you, I'm trying to what's it called, leave a hair, make a hair what's it called, okay, so that I can work better on other backgrounds. So at this point I can reduce this guy. And how do I reduce it? The what's it called, the parentheses that you have beside your P. The first one is to reduce, and the what's it called, the other one is to increase the brush. So I'm reducing so that I don't come through our what's it called, our face. Yeah, so let's try and clean up again. This ought to be a bit more gets what around you. Really? So you have to look at that will be causing our desired tracing. So you can see, zoom in a bit and check. You will see a bit of yellow around there. Yeah. So you have to be careful about you trying to refine a hair. Yeah. So you don't take away the what's it called, the actual part of your hair away, so it can look weird when you throw the cotton. So that's so this part of the body I have not what's it called. So I'm going to call this part of the body also, because I think this should be cut out. It's not among the words that they color of the clothes. Sometimes is a part. So I'm going to come here and just try and move my smooth to around 2 or 1, and one that works for the image. I think 2 is okay. And shader should be around 0.6 is okay. Contrast, I'll make it around 1 there. Maybe go around 10%. Then my shift edge, I shift it inside a bit. So when I put my shift edge, we see. So I have to check one thing. I don't lose, because if I shift it out more, you can see that I'm losing some part of the what's it called. I'm losing some part of the hair. So I'm going to shift it like this. I still want to have this part of my hair out like that, so I don't lose anything. So I'm gonna press OK. But before I press OK, here and I have this here, make sure you are turning off your this contaminate color, and also here make sure it is on volume new layer with layer mask. So now if I'm pressing OK, Photoshop will create another new layer of this image on another, what's it called, it will create another layer and give it a layer mask. So I'm going to press OK. So as you can see, this is what I have before, and this is what I have now. And you see Photoshop as what's it called, has removed the what's it called, the air part away. So that's it. So if I'm adding a background to the what's called the image itself, you can see what I have. So now you can see that I still have what's it called, I still have let's say like a yellowish kind of what's it called part on her body, and I want to also that thing away. So that's what we are going to work on now. So I'm going to put this background there so it can help in what's it called, in the removal of that. So the first thing is to come to my layer mask, check, press Alt and click on it like this. Then I'll click Ctrl L, and what Ctrl L means, what's it called, Ctrl L means levels, and I'm going to just move my sliders here like this. Then you move them like this. So you can see some parts are what's it called are disappearing. So I'm going to press OK. I'm going to press my Alt and in thumbnail back. You can see that it's not there anymore, as you can see, but we still have some little parts. So I'm going to correct that also. And how do I do that? So the best way to do that is to use, the best way I do this is to create an hue adjustment layer here and put it in colorize. So I put that in colorize, make sure I power clip. And what does power clip means? Power clip means you clipping an element into another element, you putting an element into another element. That's what power clip means. It's just like me putting a picture in a frame. The picture is clipped inside the frame. So how do I power clip in Photoshop? Two ways. I right click this layer marks, this was called this hue and saturation adjustment layer. Yeah, this is an adjustment layer. That's why I come to, let me take it back again. Yeah, we come to this is what's it called, our effect and effect layer, sorry, effect icon. And also this here is my layer mask icon, and here is my what's it called, adjustment layer icon. So adjustment layer, yeah, I use what's it called for what's it called, adjusting your element, or probably giving effects to your elements, color effects and other effects to your what's it called, a blending mode effect to your element. So if I click on my adjustment layer, I come to what's it called, hue and saturation. Yeah. So per clip, I can press right click, I can right click, then come to what's called create a clipping mask. So it's going to create a clipping mask on the layer that is above. So that is yeah, like this. So now this layer below, now this hue and saturation adjustment layer is only clipped inside this lady that is below it, but not clipped inside this layer I'm offering and I'm on in here, and also not inside this layer also. So that's how the what's it called works. So I'm going to do something again, but let's continue. Let me off this now and click on my alt key and my adjustment, sorry, my layer mask. Press Ctrl L. Just bring it out a bit like this. Then click. So I still have some part of the, yeah. So now, so I'm going to click on my adjustment layer. If you click on this thumbnail here, this will bring the what's it called, the properties. But if you click here, it's going to bring the layer mask properties, which is the density and the shader. So I'm going to click here. Yeah. And sorry, before I forget, the window that I'm using for my Photoshop is the kind of workspace is the graphics and web. So it tells me what's it called. If I'm using essential, because when you open your Photoshop for the first time, all you'll be having is essential. And this is what you'll be having. Sometimes your layer marks might be around here. So all I do is to drag it, you might have it around somewhere here like this. You might have it around somewhere here like this. Let me put it the way I have it here. So what I do sometimes is to drag my layer mask. I bring it out like this and drag it. So where I want it to do, so that I can see everything at once. Or better still, I come to Windows, come to Workspace, and I come to what's it called, Graphics and Web. So you can see it's back to the normal what's it called state. So now, let me on this. So to get this part to look like this part, what do I do? Come here, click on colorize. So colorize will change everything to a what's it called, to a mono color. So that's what colorize does. So when I'm going to tip my hair a bit to the color that I feel it was before, or the color I wish it is, in one of the two, sorry. So now, we're going to continue. So I think I like this. So I'm going to click on this, my layer mask, because your adjustment layer comes automatically with what's called your layer mask. So you click on this, my layer mask, and I press Ctrl I. Ctrl I is to inverse, or Command I on Mac. So Ctrl I is hidden. So I'm going to bring my brush in, which is the shortcut for brush is B. So I'm going to bring my brush in. I will increase my brush, and I'm using the soft round brush. You can increase this, what's it called, the size, and the hardness should be 0 because you want it to be soft. You don't want it to be harsh or sharp on the what's it called, on our painting there. So I'm going to click out. So you can see that it's too big. So you click on the what's it called, the parenthesis icon that is beside a P, the first one. You can press it down to reduce it. So now I want to what's it called, I want to review. You know, when I press Ctrl I, if you check very well, when I press Ctrl I on my adjustment layer here, for the layer marks, it was white before. Ctrl I, it was white. So the inverse of white is black. So as I press Ctrl I, it shades to black and it hides everything. Now I want to review some parts. So how do I do that? The best way to do that is to click on your what's it called, come to your tool panel here, and where we have our color here, these are foreground, these are background. So I want my foreground to be white, so keep it at white like this. So I'll come here, I'm only painting the air part, so I'm going to start painting, as you see. So you can see that everything is giving me color, what's it called, black. So make sure your opacity is 100 and your flow is 100. So you can reduce your brush again and you can zoom in so you can get it properly. So I'm still going to remove this part. So let's keep on, what's it called, painting. Make sure you paint it very well, and nobody will know that you, what's it called, you change the color over, what's it called, over hair. Cutting hair in Photoshop, you have to be, what's it called, you have to be careful so you don't lose the actual details. Even though you are not getting everything, make sure you don't lose the actual details of what's it called, of your subject hair. So at this point I have to come down here and paint. So this is the reason why I'm trying to do it, because I'm not painting on a face, so I have to be careful with my, what's it called, with my painting. So you can see that I'm using white. You can see the color I'm using here, white. But and as I'm painting not on the layer mask, I'm painting on the, what's it called, on the sorry, I'm not painting on the adjustment layer, this in itself, thumbnail. I'm painting on the, what's it called, on the layer mask thumbnail. So let's keep on doing that. So you can see. So let's see from out. So main this part, can increase your brush again by pressing the second parenthesis key on your keyboard. And let's continue. Start clearing the heat like that. Reducing it. So you have to be increasing and reducing your brush so you get it perfectly well. You don't just use one size of brush to get this. You might not get it right. Go to the outside part and just paint out like that. As you can see. So now the next thing to do here, as you can see now, if I'm changing my color of my background, you can see that it's fixing. When I'm using yellow, and you can see it's working. So let's move forward. So now the next thing to do here is to remove some parts I don't need. So if I'm to remove that, I can come to new. I said new, sorry, the layer mask. I'm going to reduce my brush again and make sure I'm picking what's it called? I'm picking black, and how do I change from what's it called? I can tilt it here from white to black, or press X. X on your keyboard can also help you tilt it. So now I'm going to click on my layer mask and just use my brush to clean. You can see to erase, because I am hiding it. So you can see that part now. So also, not to have sharp edges after what's it called? After so the best thing to do here is to click on your layer mask and feather. Increase your feather a bit. If you increase your feather, this is what it does. Let me go back. Let me remove so that you can see it properly. So without feather, when I increase feather, it make the edges a bit what's it called, smooth and soft. So it's not too sharp. And also you can do that for your hair. Your hair, you can see the way it looks like this. So now if I put in feather, you can see the way it looks. Yeah. So, and it's okay and better like this. So now the next thing I have to do is to remove this part here. So you can just click on your on your pen tool again. So click on your pen tool and just draw out that part that we don't need. This part that we don't need. Hold your Alt and click. As you can see, so then I can, when I click and press what's it called, select. Yes, select. So now how you can do this, like this part is selected and that's the only part that is selected there. Press your B, which is your brush. This is your brush, and make sure it is what's it called, it is black, because we're hiding it. We are not revealing that part that is selected. So, and just paint. As you can see, that part is gone. So which part again? Yeah, you can see this part of our what's it called. Press Ctrl D. Ctrl D is to deselect. Press Ctrl D to deselect that part. And also you see this part has been what's it called, has been erased. So we have to bring it back. That was why I said that don't delete everything. Just hide it. Use your layer maps to hide it. So the next thing to do here is to press what's it called, X again, to bring back the white and just paint. You can see paint. Yeah. And you can see press X to hide all these what's it called part that you don't need, so that it can be clean and clear. So when you are cutting or when you are trying to remove background in Photoshop, you have to be careful if you want to do it manually. And you can also do it with what's it called, automatic, the automatic way. I'll take you through that when you come for the what's it called, for the actual class. This is just to prep you. So let's continue. Yeah, I think we are good. So yeah, I'm going to what's it called, all I'm just going to do is to come up here to the top where I have my adjustment layer and press Ctrl Alt Shift E. Ctrl Alt Shift E, as you can see. So when I press Ctrl Alt Shift E, what it does that is it merges everything together and turn it into one image for me. That's what it does. But before I do that, let me come back again. I'll remove some part of the hair that is just standing alone. Sorry. like this, like this. Sure. So you are good like this. So I'm going to do that again. Control Shift E. So now I can group everything here together. I can group this, group everything here together like this. So if I can come back to it later and hide it. See now this is my actual image now. This is the result. So now for me to use this thing on another canvas, I need to convert it to to a smart object. And what does smart object does in Photoshop? It helps you to retain the quality of your images or of your elements. So if you are now this is a rasterized layer because it's not a smart object. So if I take this on another canvas and reduce it, it loses quality. So for it not to reduce the quality, I will have to convert this image to a smart object. So when I right click, come to convert to smart objects. So now this image is a smart object. So I can just press Ctrl C and come to the actual page I want to use it and press Ctrl V. You can see that it's big here because the resolution sizes are different. This 100, that might be in 300 or not. Let me check. What's the resolution size of this canvas? You can see it's even 72, but it's bigger. So now, I have to reduce. Control T. That's for transform. Free transform. That's Control T. Then reduce it like that. I'm pressing my Shift key and my Alt key together to reduce it on all angles. But yours might work differently. So you can see. So let me just reduce it like that. Yeah, and I can tilt it a bit here based on what I want to do. So I can tilt it a bit like this. Yeah. So now what I did again is that let me put tutorial dots. So now the way it is like this. So now when you click out a bit, you can see that my the anchor point change to to rotate icon, which means I can rotate it. Or better still, I can right click. So if I see transform, I come to rotate and rotate it the way I want and still bring it down like that. So let me put it like this and press OK. So you can see that I still have it clear and OK. So now that's the first part. So now I'm going to go back to where I have my mood board and see the color that can be used. So now this is my mood board. So I can now look at which color can I use for my design. And the best way to go about it, I'm going to put you through how you can generate colors on Illustrator. This is Illustrator. The other one is Photoshop. Sometimes if I don't want to go online for color generation, I use my Illustrator. So how do I do that? Come here, select and pick pick a color I feel I prefer here. So I like vibrant colors often. So I'm going to click here. So I pick this guy. Now, I've picked this guy now. Let me just duplicate this guy into 3 or 4 places. Just to duplicate this guy, click on element, Alt key and drag. Alt key and Shift key. Click it, Alt key and Shift key and drag out. Click it, Alt key and Shift key and drag out. As I duplicate. So now, Alt key is to duplicate, Shift key is to keep it in alignment. So now, I'll click on this guy here. There's this arrow that I have here. Sorry, not this. This here is color. I'm going to call to color guide here. Now, in this my color guide, there's this arrow here also. So now these are different colors, color scheme that we have. As you can see, these are the different color scheme that we have here. Instead of going, we have the monochromatic, we have the triadic, we have the analogous, and so on and so forth. So from here, I can select complementary if I'm to look for complementary colors. So you can see this is the complementary color, and we have complementary too. But I'm not really feeling this color, so I'm going to go further and see color that blends. So now I'm going to pick this. This looks a bit more colorful. This pentagram looks more colorful to me. So I'm going to pick it. So now I'm going to click on this guy here and click on this guy. It changes. Click on this guy. Click on this guy. It changes. Click on this guy. I'll pick this guy. Click on this guy. It changes. So right here now, I have my colors that I'll be using for the for the design without stressing myself. Basically, I can also still come here and still change come here, increase the brightness, and also increase maybe the saturation, yeah, and also here again, click on it the way I want it to be. I can increase saturation, you use the brightness a bit, I don't want it to be, yeah, and here also increase the brightness, reduce the brightness a bit, and you can increase the saturation a bit also. So I have my color. Can hide this. So you can see from this guy now, I've picked the color that I need for my design. So that doesn't mean I'm going to use everything. So if I'm to use them properly in my design, I can come here and just do, okay, I'll use this. I can say, okay, I'm using this for the background. That's like, I'm using 60% for the background. I come here. I'll use this guy, let's say 20%. Let me just do it like that. Or this one, let's say this one, I'm using this guy 50% as a background. I'm using this guy 20% or 30%. Let me just do it like that. So I'm using this guy. So we have 50, we have 20, that's 70 already. I'm using this guy 15%. I'm also using this guy 15%. So I'm trying to create a perfect palette for my for my design. That's what I'm trying to do. Let me bring it to the side. I'm trying to create a palette because I'm not going to use every color the same way. I won't be using them the same way. So I have to I have to make sure I create a perfect palette for them, so you can see. So this is the way I'll be using my colors. This often, and I can still change it if I feel like this won't blend with my background. Let me just duplicate, so you can just like, okay, you know what? I'm going to make this like this, then this comes like this. You get me? So now I can duplicate. I can copy them now. Like that. Copy them. Anyone works for me, I bring it in. So Ctrl C. Come back to my Photoshop. I can copy and paste from Photoshop from Illustrator to Photoshop, because they are both Adobe Suite elements. So I'm going to press Ctrl V. I can you can see, bring it in as as smart object. So I'm going to reduce it here like that and put it at the top corner here. So the next thing to do here now is to bring the background. And how do I do that? Delete this layer here, come to the top, come to your adjustment layer, and we have solid color. Click on the solid color so it can give you an actual color, and press OK, and drag the layer down because you want it to be under your element, under your subject, like this. So where you have this color thumbnail here, click on it and come out. You can pick, as you can see, the color picker has helped me out. So now, let me try the second one and see. So I think I like this one. This one has a better contrast with the what's it called, the lady's blue color and the yellow. So I'm going to what's it called, I'm going to stick with this. So now, remember we are doing a what's it called, a party flyer. So it has to be vibrant. It has to be colorful also. So it can caught people's attention. That's one thing. So that's one focus. It has to be vibrant and it has to call people's what's it called, attention. So now the next thing to do is start what's it called, bringing in my elements. And the first thing to do here is to first write my text. And what's the text we are writing? Come back to my brief, and we have what's called bash vibes. So now, you know we are doing a party design. So I want you to know it doesn't have to be what's it called, it doesn't have to be straight. It doesn't have to be, how will I put it? It doesn't have to be too corporate. So the kind of font you'll be using here have to be fun, have to be engaging, have to what's called sync more with the kind of design you are using, or the kind of event you are using it for. So now the next thing to do here is to bring in my text, and I can just look for what's it called, engaging text to bring in. So I'm going to come to my brief and copy bash vibes. That's what we are using. Ctrl C. So now I can hide this guy, and my text tool, this is C, and start writing. I can just paste it, Ctrl V to paste. It brings it in like that. So but when I'm doing something like this, I tend to what's it called, copy this out, and create another one so they are not together. And how do I do this? I can just press Ctrl J in Photoshop, Ctrl J to duplicate it and drag it down like that. So double click it and Ctrl V again so the vibes can come up. So the next thing to do here is to look for what's called the font that will fit. I can Ctrl T, or make sure you press your Ctrl T and just drag like that. So I tell you, it doesn't have to be too straight because the kind of design we are using it for. You get me? So, and this font looks too straight. This font looks too what's it called, so I can't work with this. So I'm going to change the color to white, our natural color, so we can see it properly. So as you can see, so if I'm to be doing another what's it called, maybe for a social media design stuff, like I say, maybe magazine, I can feel like, okay, I want to use this, but for me, this is not working for the kind of design I want to do. I want it to be more playful and colorful. But more importantly, I want it to be what's it called, playful. So I'm going to come to my property, my text property here, and look for. But you can see I've not even gone far. So as you can see, I have some text. I think I love this. Yeah, I love this. And the vibes also. So the name of the font is Galazi. So you can see it's giving me this poppy, this bubble was it called, vibe, and I like it like that. It looks fun. So now the next thing I'm going to do here is to rearrange my text so that they carry that playful energy. My text also. So now one thing I'm going to do here is to click and press my control key and click also and press Ctrl G. Ctrl G is to group them together like that. And I will duplicate this Ctrl G again. Ctrl J. Like I can see now, I duplicated it. So this part, I'm going to bring it down and hide it because I won't be needing it. Then this part now, I'm going to right click on my text layer here and convert it into shape. Here also, right click on this layer here and convert it into shape because I'll be adjusting my text here to what I want. So I'm going to hide this first and work on this. So I want to start adjusting this. And how do I do that? On my toolbar here, I have what's it called? I have a tool called the direct selection and path selection. So I'm going to pick on the direct selection. On the direct selection, I can select each shapes one after the other, like that, so you can see. So when I click on my A, I can click on it and press Ctrl T. I can adjust only my A and just drag it up like that, the way I want it to be. So also make sure you're still clicking on your direct selection to this. Click on my heads. I feel like I want my X to be increased by this. My H. So any way you want it, this is the way I want it. That's why I'm doing it like that. So like this. So I want you to give me that party vibe. So now for here also, for my eye, so make sure you're clicking on the on the text itself. For my eye, Ctrl T. Can reduce, take it up. So thank you. Yeah, now so for the B, I'm going to click on it. So click on it and press what's it called. Now before I drag it, I want to do something. Click and select some part here, this part here, and just drag it. Sorry, I don't want to do that. I'm just going to drag it like this so you can see. So you can just play with your what's it called, a element with this. So click on that again. Where is it? Direct selection, my E. Press my Ctrl T. Ctrl T. And drag it up a bit. So we can have something fun, not just, sorry. So you can see. So I did like that. Let me just group it. So you can see what we have before. Make sure you are putting it. Make sure you're putting it around what's it called here. So now I'm going to basic here. Click here like this. Right click, make work paths. Mark OK. And click your what's it called adjustment layer and pick a color. I'll pick this. So you can see now. So then I'll take this under my shape, under like that, so that I can duplicate this and I can write 8 teach them. Can just Ctrl T. You can use Ctrl T to increase it, or increase the size from your panel here. So I like it like this. So I have this. So make sure, yeah, this is still here, and also you can just put this shapes. So if I hide, you can say that I'm hiding almost all the shape. If I hide, I'm hiding what's it called, text. So it's for you to to know how to undo your, when you're putting them in order, for you to know how to undo your elements properly. So that's it. So I'm going to put it around here. So the next thing again to do, let's look. What's the next information? Venue. So what I like doing is that my venue, my my dates, my venue, and my time should be a bit closer. So whenever how would I put it? Whenever the audience are looking at the design, they can get the information at once. Know that my venue will be here, my date will be here, my time will be here, my venue will now be somewhere around here. It's not going to it's not going to make sense. So I'm going to copy my venue like this. Then first copy the Groove Lounge. So now I can do it the same way though, but let's still write out, bring it out, duplicate this, and Control Z. Let me just write it the Groove Lounge. So let me take this up. So I'm going to reduce these a bit and also tilt it. But before I tilt it, let me first reduce it a bit. So, and where is the other information? Bring it out. Yeah. So this is the name of the byte itself, and this is what's called the address. So this one has to be small, so that I can create that that's information hierarchy. So I'm going to use another font here. I'm going to use something like, I know, let me see. Let's go down. But you have to be using, if not, say I like this. So if not both form, but something that we can all see. So I'm going to write front heading. So this is bold. I'm going to change it to place code like that. So I'm going to reduce it. So it means, so in order to represent this properly. So I'm going to let me complete this launch. Let's put this on a straight line. Let's see if that can work. So we're going to do this. So I don't feel it to work because it's not giving me a proper alignment from up to down. So we're going to look around that. So I'm going to write the UI which is before, which is the Groove Lounge. Okay. So I'm going to put it like this. It's formed down like this. So I can create my my actual, the way I'm creating them like this. Wow, this would be a big yeah. Right click, pick on make work path. Same method. Come here. Just click, not too dark. Take this. And make sure you bring it to the shape element. Reduce the shape. So This guy is going down. You just click. So the only thing I feel a bit off here is this guy. So I'm going to increase it like this. Like that. So the reason why I did this was that, okay, now if you check, you can read, you can see the time, what's it called, the date, the time, and the venue. So you can get information at once. That's the main reason why I'm picking what's it called. I'm using this, so you can get the information of the event at once. So let's continue. Yeah, so that's for the date. So we are going to move forward. Let's go. Yeah, so what next? Dress code. We come back to that. So let's do ticket first. I think that is important. So we have the early bird, we have the general admission, and we have what's called the VIP. So let's work on that now. So I'm going to split this into 3 parts, and I'm going to use my other colors. So because I've been using this irregular shape from the beginning, so I need to continue that consistency in my in my design. So I need to continue that consistency. So I'm going to draw that again around here. So it is too short. So I'm going to continue with that like this. You can see that I'm taking so that I can get it a bit here. So our normal way of doing it, right click on make work paths. Come here. I'm going to be using white at this point. So now I'm going to divide this into 3. So like this. Okay, let me do it like this. Yeah, like this. So now, and I'm going to change them. So bring my color up back. So this will be white. I'm going to use this. But I'm going to use this. So using this, I'll be using the darker version. But that means I'm going to reduce it a bit like this. Yeah. So I'm going to hide this back. Sorry, I see I said I'll be using this 20%. This guy. So I should be using this guy. Yeah. So let me just increase it. Give it a visibility. So now to ID, you can see that now it's like my design is looking a bit more colorful. Yeah. So that's the that's the way. So it will interest your audience when they check. It won't be like your design is just there. Even though you are not doing everything, you're not trying to make noise. Your design still look acceptable. It looks beautiful. That was why I said earlier that also make sure the kind of image you are using is important. So let's continue. So I'm going to bring in the information now. So yeah, I'm going to first early bird. That's $20. So write that. So now I'm going to bring this guy, bring it in here. And how do I duplicate that? Just hold your Alt key and drag. Hold your Alt key and drag it like that. And I'll change the color. I can change the color from here. You can see where you have this color white. I can change it from here. So I come to hue. We change it to black. So the first thing I'll first write is I'm going to write the early bird first. Interesting. So I don't need to write the $40 worth. Early bird. Then so I'm going to bring in this one again to write it the other time. Then make the color black also. So now I'm going to write $20. I can just increase it a bit like this. Sure. That can be what's called, it can be more announced. And don't forget, they wrote duplicate this guy again. So there's an important notice there which says that we're limited availability. So don't forget to do that also. So you can reduce this. So the next one is the what's it called, VIP, sorry, called general admission. That's for everybody. So you can just, what can you do? Click on this, and just bring it in like that. So I can, sorry, general admission, copy, and come here and paste. Can make it 2 lines. So, and also we can work on the what's it called, drag it up and work on the idiom. So I'm going to what's it called, take it up a bit like this. But I'm going to make this white. Let me see if it works better in white. I mean white, sorry. So no, so I'm going to leave it at black like this. So the next, so it's 30, not 20, sorry. So I'm going to change this to 30. That's good. So now the next one, which is I think the VIP experience, that's the $50. Same thing, just click on them and hold your Alt key and drag down. Hold your Alt key and drag down. VIP experience, I can make that 1 line. Then I'll make this 15. The last, then include this one like this. So I'll make this one white. Sure. So it looks different from others. Can also click on here like this. So now you can see that also even I have information. I'm still trying to work with what's it called, space, so that my design can breathe. You get it? One thing I always say as a designer, let your design breathe. Let it breathe. Let there be space, and let there be space enough for people to what's it called, to pick informations in your design. So I'm going to reduce my element a bit like this. I take it up a bit. Is it up? So now we are almost through with what's it called, writing our information. Sorry, I'll select just like this and like this. I'll select this part like this. So to select, just press your shift key and take on my element here, my subject, so it can be selected. Now I can increase them a bit like this. Okay, so it's visible also. So now we have this. We can continue to take them down. So I can hide this. So you can see now if I click this, all my what's it called, texts, elements are hidden. So that's one of the best things. So you can, where your each element are placed. It's not that you're looking for it up and down. So, and if I click this out, so you can see they are gone. So that's one thing you should also put in mind, like categorizing your what's it called, your elements in your design. So the next thing to do, what we have next, if you have to check, is this and what's it called, and dress code. So those ones can go beneath here like this. So let me raise this up a bit. So now the next thing, I'm going to come back to my mood board and see, okay, what can I do specially in my design to just make it pop. Maybe I'm going to put what's it called, textures behind my my subject, behind the background, just to give it that what's it called, that realistic view. So just to make it a bit more realistic, I can give it texture. So I'm going to check. You can see now we have different element behind my subject here that make it what's it called a bit pop. So we can also do that here. So now what I'm going to do here, you can see also that we have different textures placed here. So now I'm going to put in texture. So now what I'm going to do now, like this, group this together. Now, so now I'm going to click on my background layer, which is this. And the next thing I will do is start creating what they call my texture. Now, there are two ways you can create your texture. You can create from scratch, or basically get from what's it called. You can get textures from different websites like Freepik, like Shutterstock. You can get textures and just place. Do you get it? And you all you just is what's it called, manipulate the blending modes to fit into your what's it called background. So I'm going to try the two ways. So which one, anyone that works better, that's what we'll use. So I will start creating my whole texture myself now. So you can also use your mouse in creating the texture, but for me, for it to be a bit seamless for me, I'll be using my my graphics tab. So now the first thing is to create a layer. So I'm going to pick my brush. At this point, I'm going to go to my legacy brush. As you can see, if I click brush up here, I have the icon, so I can click on this arrow downward and go to where I have brushes. I'll click on legacy brush and I'll look for under my legacy brush. I'm going to look for the brush that I need. So let me see. So I'm looking for an artistic brush. So yeah, I have something here. So I can pick any one of these. I think I like this. So we can try it out. Let's first see how it looks like. So I think this one is a bit too much. Let me look for another one. Let me see this. So you can try it as until you find something that is really okay with you. So I think I like this. So now, let me create what's it called. I'm going to be picking from colors from here. I'm not going to pick outside the color, so I'm going to pick this first. And the next thing I will do is just what's it called, draw from this angle like this. So I'm going to go again, hold my Alt key and pick color here, and still what's it called, just draw, just to make the design a bit more colorful. That's why I'm doing this. I can pick this also. So and also I can pick white. So you can see this is just a simple what's it called, pattern I'm doing on the background. So this is one. This is one. You can see the what's it called. So this is one. So I'm going to click another one again, and I'm using one color, and that will be, I'm going to click my brush tool, then hold your Alt key and click on this color. Then I'll come to my foreground, click it twice, and make sure my opacity is reduced. Or let me leave it here. Then my brightness is increased. Then my opacity is reduced. So I want to get a lighter feel of this. Let me just do it like this and bring it like this. You can also tilt it from here, the way you want your brush to look like. So now, what I'm going to do here is that I'll start just painting, just creating texture. And I'll show you how this works. So this is just to do it in a more what's it called artistic manner, so it doesn't look boring. So now this guy here, I'll come to my blending mode. What we have up here is called the blending mode. So it's a way of blending your element with another what's it called element, or blending a color with another background and stuff like that. So I'm going to click here normal. This is normal, and you can see I have this off, which doesn't change but creates like an arch fill around what's it called. You can see. So now that's not what I need. I'm going to go to dark. So on this part that we have, these are the darker what's it called fill of the blending mode, and these are the lighter fill of the blending mode. These are the what's it called, the layers, the layered fields. So that blends a bit more with the layer. You can see we have overlay, we have soft light, we have add light, we have vivid, we have linear, we have paint, and we have add mix. This messes with the colors of the element you are blending, as you can see. I think black is giving me a better vibe. Let's continue. So this messes with the colors, and this messes with the lightning also. Let's say you can see. So I want to go with either light or screen. So I'm going to go with light, and I'm going to reduce the fill so there is not too much, and bring back what I had before. But make sure this is on top of it. Are you getting me? So I'll convert this to a smart object. I'll convert this to a smart object in case I want to increase the size so it doesn't look blurry. So I'm going to increase this like this. Where I'm going to also increase this also like that. So now the next thing to do in this design is to place other what's it called, other elements. I said elements here, other this thing. We still have the information, we still have the dress code, and we have this. So now I'm still going to draw. You can see that there's one thing that is common in this design is consistency in how I put it, repetition in how I put it, and this kind of elements and the irregular form is consistent. So there have to be a kind of consistency in your design so that it can appeal more to people. So the next thing I'm going to do here is to pick my lasso tool and just, how do I put it, draw like that. Like this. Don't forget to see the under what's it called, shapes. Right click, make work parts. Okay, and change the color. Come here. So I'll leave this. Then I'm going to create another one. Again. Also right click, make work parts. So make it black. So take this to the top of it here. So we have it here. So now the next thing to do is to bring the information. So you can just duplicate this guy, bring this guy here, and come back to what's it called, where you have ticket and dress code. You can just copy it, put it there. So this color, I'm going to, what's it called, this color here, I'm going to increase it a bit so there can be a better contrast. I use this, then I reduce it a bit, the darkness like it. So I'm still using the same color but just different, what's it called, brightness and what's it called, yeah. So now, and I'm going to paint my guy, bring it in, and come to the information and copy this. So on this part, I'm not going to leave it like this. I'm going to make it a side alignment so it can flow with what we have already. So I want to make it a bit it's looking like this, so that can increase. So I think the 2 should come to the other line. Yeah, it's looking like this. So now I have this. So now the next thing to do, yeah, you're almost through with our flyer. You can rotate this up a bit. I said it before that this flyer is just to be playful. You get it? So nothing, not just something serious. If it was got to be playful. So now, looking at this flyer and going back to my mood board, I can see that we're having the same kind of feel already. You can see my mood board and you can see what I'm creating. You can see that it's not that I'm creating the same thing, but I'm using my mood board basically as an inspiration to create whatever I am creating. So that is one thing you guys should understand. So the next thing I'm going to do here, I'm going to play with this a bit. So I'm going to create another layer. So make sure I'm picking my brush tool. Picking my brush tool. And I'm going to change my brush to what's it called? Wet round point, what's it called here? Wet media, but I'm picking this. So then I'm going to reduce it because I don't want to be much, and make sure my foreground, to change my foreground to black and white back, I press D and I press X because I want it to be white. So now I'm going to be using my mouse here to just draw around this. So this was it called here. So make sure that your opacity is 100 and your flow is 100. So this way, just kind of what's it called, play. You get it to create that font, what's it called, around you. So it doesn't just look, what's it called, too straight. That's all right. I'm going to do that again. So, okay, can still create something there. So I'm going to pick, I'm going to create another layer on. Yeah, I'm going to pick, increase my brush a bit. And I'm going to pick this color, the color of the background itself. So just do something little on it like that, reduce my brush. This is just some part just to make your work look different. So if you don't want to do it, you can leave it. You get. So this is just to create that was it called that little details on your design, so you can see. So it should look different from just writing a plain text. So I try much as possible to just make design look what's it called nice. So now I feel something is wrong with this design. I feel I need to work on these colors that I think that it was it called. Yes, I need to work on them. So I'm going to recreate them again. So create my brush, and come back to the brush I was using earlier, which is this. Just tweak it a bit. So I'm going to reduce the the colors and also the way it looks like this. Take this. I'll prefer that you put them on on a separate layer. Like this, yes. Take this. Like this. White. Bien. Sorry. Oh, I said them on a separate layer. So create a new layer. Let me see. So let me first put a green first. Then I'll click another layer. Then I'm going to use what's called the yellow. I'm going to take that on beneath like that. Let's go on that. Let me redraw it so you can create it yourself. You don't need to start downloading. Sometimes, if you have the time, I will implore that you create it yourself. You know what I'm going to, what's it called? Let me use a white for now. I use my brush. Just draw it. So let me use that yellow for that. Move right here. So what color is left out? So I can also pick this color, come down, zoom in and pick the Alt key and draw. So create another layer. And just pick the color from the what's called from the set. Like this. So you know I have these colors now. And I can put them what's it called. This will be another what's it called entirely. Until if we want to T, they increase them. And before I do that, convert them into what's it called smart objects. So they don't just reduce in quality. And also I can now pick, you can see that I can pick and adjust. If I don't like the way it looks like, I can adjust. So this also I can take it inside a bit. This I can take it inside a bit. That's what I'm doing. When this I can build it like this. So now we are almost done. So the next thing to do here, so we am creating these guys here. So I'm going to add another layer and I'm just going to draw, press the neutral white. some elements that we can see in a party. It doesn't have to be regular. So I'm going to pick this my brush. I will use it. Make sure it's white. So I'm just going to draw elements that we can see in a party with your, what's it called, pen tool on your mouse. I will just draw. Don't mind my drawing, please. So you have to be, what's it called? This is just a create, that was it called, that's font feel. So we see bottles. So I can just draw a kind of bottle. Don't mind how my bottle look, please. So this doesn't have to be, what's it called, jewelry, and doesn't have to be much. So I'm going to create some irregular style also, like just draw like this, just draw like that. So you can also do that around here. Well, I can do that around 8, yeah, so it will look a bit more reasonable. Yeah. So now, this flyer is not complete without maybe contact information. So you can just come here underneath. So what I can just do here, keep this guy, as you can see, keep this guy. You have this guy, keep this guy. You can see that I'm grouping all my, what's it called, elements. So, and I'm going to group my element here, my subject also, I'll make it subject. Right. Like that. So now the next thing to do here, I'm just going to, how do I put it, create an overlay like this on top of, below my shape, or on top of my subject. Create an overlay like that. Make sure it's a brush, but in this point I'll be using different kind of brush, which is a soft round brush, and I'm going to reduce the opacity like that. I can leave the fill at 100, and I'll look for a darker feel of this color, link it down, darker feel, increase my brush, and just paint a bit like this. I can also put black, but make sure that, so I want to put some details here. That was why I needed to, what's it called, make it a bit, create an overlay for it here. So I'm going to press Ctrl T just to increase it like that, so it doesn't take away the details here. So I'm going to just write for more details. And now for more info, sorry. For more info. 490 490. Sorry. Let me just use plus 45 192. So I'm just going to write any number here like you say now. So here, I'm going to bring it down there. Press Ctrl T, and I'm going to rotate it like this. Make sure it looks a bit straight. Yeah. This doesn't need to be on that what's it called. This overlay is okay for it for viewers to view it. So yeah, can take this my guy, my lady up a bit. Yeah. And we are done. And if you feel like the color is too much, you can always what's it called remove it. As you can see. And you can it's a two-way thing. You can remove it and increase this. But for me, I feel it adds more what's it called vibe to my flyer. It gives it that energy, it gives it that feel that yeah, this part is going to have much of vibes. So that's it. So now, thank you. So we are here at the end of our what's it called of our design. I hope you guys learned something from this class. Yeah, thank you. So there are still many things, the many ways to what's it called to approach this design, but because this is just what's it called a baby step process, so that was why I needed to what's it called do something like this for you guys. So if you guys still want more and you want to enjoy more and learn more on how to create amazing designs, sign up to the class so that we can have more time I can have more time to explain to you on how to create wonderful designs.
Mike. Okay, I hope you guys can hear me now. I really hope you guys have really learned a lot from that. That was really, really intensive and that was really, really awesome. I can see the design and like, wow, this is really, really good. I really learned a lot from that. So basically, we we have finally come to an end for this webinar. And like I said, we are going to be having a proper class, just in case you feel like, oh, this thing was rushed, or there are some things he couldn't explain into two. We are going to be having a physical class. By the way, our center is in Bagada, just in case you are wondering. Our physical class center is in Bagada, and then we'll definitely be giving out more information about that. For our winner for our scholarship, I think we'll be giving. I think we'll be giving. Folajimi is yes. Let us. Folajimi, that's your name, right? I really hope I got that right. Because you stayed to the end of the class. Peter, we appreciate you too as well. Maybe we'll give two people. Let's give Peter and Folajimi. If you guys are interested in the scholarship for the class, make sure you do contact me and contact us on our page. Send us a DM, of course. And make sure you send us a DM, or if you have access to our WhatsApp line, make sure you send us into that as well. I would just like Ridwan to have his last words so that we can just wrap this up.
More in the what's it called in this class. This class is not all, and this class will not explain everything about graphic design. This class is just what's it called to prep you, as I've said, on what to expect in the main class. And you can see in this class, I put you through how to use color, how to manage your space when you have too much elements or too much information in this in that class. So if you are ready and really want to learn from me, and you want to know design in solving problems, you want to do manipulations that you've been saying, you want to use design in solving anything you wish to communicate. Sign up for the design Kickstart class that will be coming up November 11, and let's work together. Thank you very much.
So from me, Nasil, Karim, from Ridwan, we say thank you and goodbye. So I have to.